Hello, my planner friends. This is Rachna from Pixie Does Planner, and I am here to show you how I have moved in to my new Erin Condren Hourly Flora planner. This is the 7x9 size. It has a rose gold coil, and I got the magnolia design in the Flora, was it teal or aqua? It may have been aqua color. I absolutely love the cover, love the design. So while I did not get to film the process of me setting this planner up, I wanted to go ahead and film for you and show you what I did set up, how I intend to use the pages. And the reason I didn't film it is because, truthfully, this is my first time moving into a planner. I've always just sort of dived right in and I set up different pages as I go, but I really wanted to be intentional about my planner, especially with my notes pages this year. And so I just want to show you how I did that, what my thought process was, and how I intend to use this planner. So this is the planner that I'm going to be keeping at home. I may take it with me, but this is the planner that will house all of my big appointments, events that are happening, work schedule, home schedule, filming schedule, anything like that. This planner I intend to keep at home. This is going to have my weekly overview. This is what I'm going to use to then map out pages in my daily agenda. So with that being said, this planner is tailored to those kinds of things. So starting with the opening page, I did not touch the vellum. I think it's absolutely stunning, but I did go ahead and write my name in here as well as my social media handle, because why not? The first thing I did, I wrote my name in with pencil, and then I traced it with a calligraphy lettering pen, and I just wrote in cursive because that's what I know how to do. And I like it. I went back and forth between, like, do I want a sticker? And I just ultimately decided that I want to write my name in pen. I usually wait till the very, very last month or the last minute, and sometimes even after I'm done with a planner, to finally write my name in. I don't know what it is about writing a name in a planner that is so nerve-wracking. It's like that's the one time that you fear you're gonna mess up spelling your name or something. So to avoid any mishaps, I wrote in pencil first, and then I went ahead and traced with a pen. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and flip over. I have not done anything to my year at a glance page, and that's frankly because I rarely ever come back to use this page or reference it. If I ever need to see a year at a glance, I usually just go over to my phone, and so I have not found a meaningful way to use this page. I think because I'm using it for household things, I don't know. I could use it to mark birthdays. I could use it to mark days off, and I think that might be helpful for me, but at this point I think it's best if I leave it blank until I really solidify what I want to use this page for, if anything. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip over to the boxes. Here in my last planner, what I was doing is I labeled out the months just like this, and then I would go back and write a highlight of the month in each of these boxes. So I just want to pull that one out for you so I can show you what I mean. Let's see. Okay. So here you can see that I used the stickers from the monthly sticker book, and I just wrote things that we did. So 2021, got my dog Valentine's Day, getting vaccinated, taking care of Lilo, celebrating my husband's birthday. I really like being able to come back to this page and write down something that happened or something that I want to remember, so that when I come back and open this planner at a later date, I have that written down. I think it's also a really fantastic way for me to just stay grounded and appreciate the good things that are happening in my life. So here again, rather than using a sticker book or stickers, I went ahead and just wrote it out in pencil and then traced it over with the same lettering pen, because that's my personal preference. I think the colors in this planner are really muted, and I'm feeling really drawn to just make the most of pen on paper. So here on this page, I was debating on creating another 6 boxes because this is an 18-month planner. However, I left it blank for right now because I want to see how I feel about that as time goes on. I know that this is already quite a chunky planner. Like I said, it's an 18-month planner. It is quite chunky already, and so I want to leave this blank just in case, once this planner gets filled over the next year, just in case I cannot make it the whole 18 months, if that makes sense. Like if this book gets too thick and I cannot use it all the way through till next December, I'm just gonna leave this blank for right now because I don't want to later say, oh, I want to use it for that and now I don't have space. So then I'm gonna flip over, and this is my July monthly view. I really want to be able to use my monthly view. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that this page is a hit or miss for me. I don't always flip back to it, but I want to. There are some months where I use this monthly view religiously, and there are other months that I'm just like, I'll just do it week by week. So I did use the Erin Condren Flora sticker book for this, and I think it's, oh my gosh, it's washi stuck to it. I think it's so perfect. I like my colors to coordinate. The colors in this planner are absolutely beautiful. So I went ahead and just picked stickers that matched the July tab and set up my monthly view. I do have a monthly plan with me that I did for this page, so if it's not up already, it will be up very soon. Flipping over into the dashboard page. Now again, this is another page that I think it was my last video or the one before that I stated I have a really hard time with this page, simply because I was going off of what other people were using it for. And one thing I'm remembering as I use this planner is that I do not have to be so rigid. So in my old planner, I would never use this page because I thought I wasn't using it the right way. What I mean by that is I would see people list out birthdays and events and goals and a fancy quote, and that was never relevant for me. You know what I mean? Like my July, this view already houses all of the events and birthdays that I want to remember, so it felt very redundant for me to write it out here again. So instead, I really reflected on what it is that I want to be able to come back to. I oftentimes would write something here and I would never ever visit this page again. Like I wouldn't even come back to it. It was just non-existent for me. So I thought about it, right? Like, what is it that I want to remember? What will make me come back to this page? A couple of ideas that I was toying with was, writing down memories for the month, or some sort of memory thing. But I already have my memory planner, which I use on a daily or weekly basis. I already have these 6 boxes that I use, 12 boxes that I use to write down important highlights for the month. And so again, it was feeling redundant for me. So I thought about it again, like what is it that I want to focus on every month? So the first thing that came to mind was writing down accomplishments for the month. Now that is different than highlights of the month, right? Accomplishments might mean, for me, I'm really leaning into my self-care here. I'm really leaning into my healing journey. I am thinking about things like I set a boundary, or I spoke up for myself, or I worked out 3 times a week, or I had good sleep. Those are the things I want to write down and remember, because for the days that it gets really hard, I want to have something to look back on and say, okay, well, I did accomplish certain things. I did work on some things, and that just is a really nice way to boost self-esteem. It's really a nice way to challenge negative self-talk. And I want to be able to lean into those things. I want to be able to lean into my strengths, because I think it's easy for me to fall into not appreciating the things that I've done well, even if they're small. So that's where the intentions box comes in. I didn't really want to write down goals. I wrote down intentions, and while they might mean similar things, for me, intentions felt a little more authentic. I want to be intentional with my time. I want to be able to say, you know, if I'm going to spend quality time with my husband, then I need to make time for that. If I want to work out 5 times a week, I need to make time for that, and I need to prioritize it. And so those are, you know, it can be journaling, it can be drinking enough water. And then finally, I have a section that I've labeled healing, because this is a very, very important part of my life. And here I want to write down things that I was working on. So this could be a theme that's emerging from my therapy. This could be something that I noticed that was coming up a lot. So for example, here I might want to write down again, like how I enforced boundaries that month, or how I was able to revert back to meditating and journaling and staying grounded. It might also look like reflecting on how my symptoms are showing up. So sometimes I have lots of nightmares, and thinking about you know, how that's impacting me or how I've grown from them. So this is a space where I just want to reflect on that. And finally here, I've created 3 trackers using the Erin Condren, let me pull it out for you, the Erin Condren stencil here. And I just marked what the month looks like. And I wrote down 3 goals just for right now. I have exercise, journaling, and reading. And while I write this in my planner, while I can set every intention, I want to hold myself accountable. So I have written down a little calendar so I can see how many boxes I check off at the end of the month, right? Then I can say, okay, next month, let me try a little bit harder, or, you know, whatever it might be. I really want to hold myself accountable. And if I can see it here, it just ensures that I will come back to this page, check it off, and keep referring back to it. And finally, to keep in line with the whole self-care dashboard theme, on this lined page, I've written down therapy notes, which is very, very important to me. I attend therapy weekly, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And so far, I've just been writing down therapy notes wherever I can find to write down therapy notes, whether that be a notebook, whether that be a sticky note. But because I have been so intentional about this dashboard page, I wanted to have my therapy notes right here too, so that I can keep bouncing back and forth between these 2 pages. So here I've written down the first day that I have therapy, and I'm going to write down whatever notes, whatever things we talk about, whatever's meaningful. And then I will incorporate it here as well as needed. And so I can just kind of flip back and forth as I need to. Now, when I was creating this page, one of the things I reminded myself is that this is what I have created for my dashboard for July. Now, come August, if this does not work for me, I am giving myself permission to change up my layout. If next month I decide I want to do birthdays, or next month I decide I want to write out a bucket list of things I want to do in August, I'm giving myself permission to do that. And the reason I say that out loud is because I think sometimes I can be rigid with myself, and that may be true for some of you too. It's like, if I do it here, then that means I have to do it there too. And really, that is all just not necessary. I think this planner is meant to serve me, and I am setting intentions to use it this way in August. If that does not work for me, I will change it. And so I am also going to update you as I do that. I have done a plan with me, and that video is already up on my channel. So if you want to check out how I planned out this week, then please go ahead and check out that video. I've talked about on my Instagram, like I've been thinking about this planner and I don't always want to use a kit because it's so darn beautiful, but I have so many kits, and so we'll see how that goes. I might switch it up here and there. Okay, now for the rest of the planner, I have not set anything up. I'm going to go back to the notes page, and I will preface this again with, this is the first time I have set up or moved into a planner in this way. Before, I would just use my notes pages truthfully for random notes, or I wouldn't even touch them. So I wanted to be, again, intentional about my notes pages. By no means do you have to do this. By no means do I want you to leave this thinking like you need to set up some notes pages. I have never done so, but this year I wanted to. So let me go ahead and show you what I did and why I wanted to set it up in this way. I want it to be functional. I want it to be something that I will come back to. And so I was really thinking, what are some of those things? What are some of the things that I want to keep track of? The first thing that popped into my mind was my puppy's well-being. Her name is Lilo, and she is a sweet 4-pound Maltipoo, and she is just everything to me, and she's just so sweet and so cute. She's like a little teddy bear. So some of the things that you might have heard about if you've been here on my channel, and if you haven't, I'll just briefly update you, since we've gotten her, the vet was saying that she has parasites, and then we went and got a second opinion, and that vet was like, no, she's been over medicated for parasites. This seems like a food allergy. And so I created a section for food. And while we've tried several foods up until this point, I wanted to just start fresh from what we're using right now. And I wrote down the food she's using and that she loves it. Now, the vet has made some other recommendations for us, so I'm going to go ahead and write down the start date of a new food, write down what it is, and write down whether or not she likes it. The next part of this page is for vet appointments. She has gotten all of her shots. The only one that was left for us was the influenza vaccine, so that appointment is coming up for her. I wrote down the reason for the visit and then the outcome and or notes that I want to write down. And this is just to say, that I have like an overview. If I ever want to go back into the paperwork, I can, but I can always come back to this page and say, okay, it was on that date that she did this. They recommended this. This is what we're trying. The next notes page that I created was for dissertation progress. So I am a doctoral student and I am starting my full-time internship in August. And the only schoolwork that is left for me is working on my dissertation. So I want to make sure that I have a place that can house all of the progress and updates that I have for my dissertation. I'm hoping that this will be enough space. I mean, I have plenty of email threads. I have a notebook in which I write the things that I need to for my dissertation. But at this point, I need to put my survey up and have it go live. So I think that's the next update that I'm going to fill here. I'm going to put the date down, write down the update, and then write down the following to do. So for example, on blah, blah, blah date, my survey has gone live. The next thing I need to do is collect X number of participants. And to set these pages up, I still only used the one sticker book. Let me see if I can find it. I used the washi strips from this page. I used the same calligraphy lettering pen. I think I may have also used my Sharpie pen. And to highlight the words, I wonder if you can see that. To highlight the words, I used my Crayola Super Tips. And because it has like 100 colors in there, and so I just used whichever one. I swatched some of them and I used whichever one matched the washi, and then I used a flower sticker to just fluff up the page. The next one here is content ideas for Pixie Does Planner. I haven't written anything down because I don't know how I want to set this page up yet, but I do know that I want to have a place to write it all down because currently I don't write it down anywhere. For me, a whole planner is not needed for content, but I do want a place to write it all down because right now it's floating in my head, and I was like, oh, I need to start writing this down somewhere. So I have this page, and I will update you as this page flourishes into something more. Okay, the next one is date night ideas. Again, I've used the washi from the sticker book, a flower sticker, and these boxes I created using the stencil, and I just highlighted it. The reason I didn't fill this in or complete it all the way is because this is something I very intentionally want to sit down with my husband and fill in. I do have some ideas, but I want to go ahead and sit down with him so that it's meaningful for the both of us. As you can see here, I totally got some pen marks on here, and this was a kind reminder that this is paper and it is going to be okay. All right, okay, the next one is a bucket list of things that I want to do, and here is just like, I started doing a brain dump of things. Like, I wrote down some things for Hawaii, like hike up Diamond Head and go to a luau, but I also wrote down things that I can do locally, like hike Mission Peak and visit the city, get another tattoo, play mini golf. There is no rhyme or reason to this page. I just want to have a place to write down things that I want to do, and then as I do the things, I want to be able to color this in and maybe write down the date that I did it so that I can come back and reflect on this and then take it over to the next year, whatever it may be. Okay, the next page, the next notes page that I set up is a very basic movie log. I think I'm going to go ahead and add in another date and movie thing here down the center of the page. That's because my husband and I like to watch movies on Friday nights or through the weekend. We are definitely couch potatoes, and we like to spend our time watching movies. So I want to write down what we have watched, and I don't know, I think it's just a fun way to be like, oh, I already watched that and this is when I watched it. And then the final one, which is not entirely set up yet, is for routines. I just put 2 sticky notes down here because I do like the idea of putting down sticky notes for routines. There are a couple other people that I've seen who do this. One of them is Sarah Plans, and the other is Simply Shantae's Plans. I'm sure there are other people who create routine pages and have sticky notes because it's easy. If your routine changes, you can just take it off and put a new one down. I haven't set up this page yet entirely because I'm still figuring out what my routine is looking like. I am right now on summer break, and so I feel like if I create a routine right now in July and then start work in August, it might not be the most consistent routine, if you will. So I have left this blank for right now. And then I have 1, 2, 3 notes pages left, and I have the contacts page, which I have never used in my planner because I just refer to my phone. Who knows, I might fill it in for the sake of filling it in, but for right now it's just blank. And this is the 2023 year at a glance, which I am leaving for right now. And you guys, can we just take a second to appreciate these stickers? I think I might grab another pack of these because they're so gorgeous. And this is why, like, this sticker sheet right here in this entire book is the reason why I am debating on even using kits in this planner. Obviously, I've already used kits, and obviously I don't need to decide anything right now. I can decide as I go, and if one week I don't want to use it, I don't have to, and if another week I do want to use kits, I can. But it's just something I'm thinking about. I think, again, that goes to the rigidity of using a new planner. I'm sometimes like, I need to stick to one thing the whole year. And that's not true. That's my reminder to myself and to you. So that's how I've moved into my planner. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you've done something similar to me, please let me know in the comments below. If you have ideas about the dashboard pages or additional note pages, please let me know how you've set up your planner, what things are meaningful for you, and if you even move into your planner. Is that a thing that you do? Because this is the first time I'm doing it, so I'd love to hear what your guys' process is. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!